So in the UK, over just the last 3 decades, the rate of hospital admission with anaphylaxis, which is the most severe.
Sorry, what did she say again?
Anaphylaxis? Is that correct?
Anaphylaxis.
Anaphylaxis.
Yeah, there's 5 syllables.
Anaphylaxis.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Yay.
Hi, this is Bank or Shawit Uttamachai from the British Council.
And I'm Abe from the British Council.
And I'm Just Napat Pantikun, FameLab Thailand winner 2019. And I'm a special guest for this episode.
And welcome to the Learn English with FameLab, where you get to learn interesting English from a 3-minute science presentation of FameLab.
Bank, what's wrong with Abe?
I don't know, Abe.
He looks so sad.
Are you alright?
I dropped my sandwich.
Oh no.
Oh, we can get you a new one later. That's
Yeah.
okay.
I'm broke. I've got no money.
Oh, we feel you. It's okay.
It's okay. Oh wait. How long have you dropped the cake?
Maybe a few seconds ago.
Oh, have you heard of a 5-second rule? I've heard that if you drop food on the floor for less than 5 seconds, you can still eat it.
Really? Oh, yeah.
Yes, pick it up.
That's gross. Oh, no.
Well, actually, we have someone who can tell us a little bit more about the 5 seconds rule. So let's hear more from Lucy, and her topic is on the hyperactive immune system.
Oh.
Let's watch them.
Let's talk about the 5-second rule. Most of you have heard of this, right? This is the idea that when you drop a bit of food on the floor, as long as you pick it up again quickly enough, then it's still safe to eat. Now, this is a fascinating rule that often involves the stretching of time so that the length of the 5 seconds is directly proportional to the deliciousness of the bit of food that you just dropped. But that aside.
So yeah, she said fascinating.
That's a good word.
Yeah, so, I mean, we often use this for amazing or interesting. I guess in this case, she says an interesting rule.
We'll find out more if it's really fascinating. Right? She did also mention a stretch of time.
Like stretching.
What's all stretching
Yeah,
to
and she
do with
also
time?
mentioned proportional, right? So I think what she's saying here is that, depending on how important the food is that you've dropped, that depends on how long the time actually is. So let's say you drop an apple and you're not really bothered about the apple, 5 seconds is long enough. If you drop pizza, that 5 seconds may become 10 seconds or 15 seconds.
Right, like more stretch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can
that's true.
stretch the time, yeah.
That's true.
For those of you who don't use this rule or claim not to, I guess you think it's unhealthy, unhygienic. Germs are bad, right? I'm going to tell you why the 5-second rule is a good thing. Not because that jam donut that you dropped at the bus stop the other week and then picked up and ate, you know who you are. Not because that didn't pick up any germs, but because it did. Now, as a doctor, I see patients all the time with allergic conditions like food allergies, asthma, eczema. And the thing that they have in common is that their immune systems are hyperactive, meaning they try to attack harmless substances in the environment that you come into contact with, causing symptoms.
We have some technical terms here, right? I heard the words unhealthy or hygienic, right?
Yeah, she said unhealthy and unhygienic. So the two are similar, but unhealthy we may use in terms of whether you consume unhealthy food, whereas unhygienic may be related more to how clean you are, how often you wash.
And there's some medical terms like asthma or eczema. That's
Yeah.
kind of hard word too.
They're quite difficult to pronounce. Yeah, asthma. There's the H is silent in that word, and then eczema.
Eczema.
Yeah, eczema. Exactly. Yeah.
I'm good.
So it's difficult to breathe from asthma. Whereas for eczema, this will manifest
like
on your
skin.
skin. Exactly.
Oh.
So asthma would cause shortness of breath,
Yes.
whereas eczema would
Eczema,
cause irritation
yes,
of the skin.
Yeah.
That's right.
You might be itchy, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Oh.
Now, the really fascinating thing is this is a new phenomenon, or the scale of it is. So in the UK, over just the last 3 decades, the rate of hospital admission with anaphylaxis, which is the most severe, life-threatening form of allergy.
Sorry, what did she say again?
Anaphylaxis? Is that correct?
Anaphylaxis.
Anaphylaxis.
Yeah, there's
5
syllables.
Anaphylaxis.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, and so anaphylaxis with the stress on the 4th syllable.
Anaphylaxis.
Difficult
Right.
word.
Okay.
Has risen by how much do you think? 20%? 50%? It's gone up by 700% in 30 years. That's huge. And whilst the rate of allergic diseases in countries like the UK, and by means sort of westernized countries would normally say, has been going steadily up and up and up over probably the last century or two, actually, the rate of infectious diseases over the same sort of time frame has been going down and down and down. And many scientists think that these two trends are related, giving rise to an idea known as the hygiene hypothesis. Basically, bacteria and viruses have been around for a lot longer than humans, and our immune systems are used to them. The hygiene hypothesis argues that exposure early on in life to a wide range of environmental germs, or microbes they're sometimes called, trains our immune system, helping it to learn what it needs to respond to and what it can simply ignore or tolerate. The idea is that without this, allergies develop. But now, it's not time to stop showering. And in fact, personal hygiene probably has little or nothing to do with whether or not you develop allergies. It's much more likely to be due to things like urbanization, the food that you eat, and maybe overuse of antibiotics, which reduce the range of microbes, germs, that we're exposed to compared to in our evolutionary history when we're exposed to lots more of them. And essentially, this has had consequences for our immune system.
Wow, so many good words here. I think I heard urbanization. Did I pronounce correctly?
Yeah,
Okay.
perfect. Yeah, this is where we talk about people moving. Obviously, in the past, a lot of people used to live in rural areas of the countryside, but now a lot of people are beginning to move to the city or urban areas. Yeah.
I see.
I also heard the word, interesting words, evolutionary.
It comes from the word evolution, so we often see these changes over time, over a long period of time. A good example would be our human evolution, how we've changed over a long period of time.
So I think Lucy, she mentioned because of the change, there's consequence.
Yeah, I heard like consequently. That's something I also heard in
Right.
daily life, right?
Right, yeah, so this is, we can change consequence to an adverb, consequently.
Yeah.
Great way of using it instead of therefore. But we use this to talk about results that happen, cause and effect.
Right. So as a result would be,
Yeah.
you can use consequently.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Good pronunciation as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So maybe you don't need to be so afraid of our little bacterial buddies. Some of them might be friendlier than you think.
Eat it. See? That's nice.
That's nice.
Yeah.
You mean the talk is nice, right?
The
Or do you mean the
talk
food, the drop food is nice?
Maybe you should try too.
I've forgotten about that now. That's all gone, yeah.
Will you actually eat
Will
a
you?
drop food within 5 seconds?
If you're not looking, if you're not looking.
Or it depends on what kind of food, right? That you
Stretch
drop.
of time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The stretch of time is important.
Now
to
we
end of a
learn.
emotional.
Yeah.
Okay, Just what do you think about the performance?
I really like these topics, and also she used the circular structure to tell her story. You will see that she start with that donut, and she dropped the donut, and then she explained everything about like food allergy. She bring up some stats, some numbers, and she make it fun. I really like the sense of humor that she like used in this storytelling. And then she finished with that donut again by picking the donut and then eat it.
I agree with you, and I think the topics are also close to home. I love
Yeah.
food.
She also tried to explain and make sure that the audience didn't get lost
Yes,
during the
exactly.
conversation, during the story.
Yeah,
I think that's good.
agree. I mean, she's a doctor herself, so that's why I want to make people
that's why.
understand all these terms. But I think great job for her. I do like it, and I quite enjoyed it as well.
Yeah.
That's it for this episode. Thank you very much again, just for joining us and be our guest for the 2 episodes here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course, and of course, if you would like to watch Just performance in the past, these are also available on the British Council YouTube. We will see you again in the next episode. See you. Bye bye.
See ya. Bye bye.